Hey friends, it's Angela from Cake Angel and welcome back to my channel. For today I thought I would show you a recipe that is perfect for this time of year as it's blueberry season in Ontario. Let's have a look at these blueberries. Aren't they beautiful? These are freshly picked and I'm going to show you how to make my lemon blueberry muffins with them. Let's dive in and take a look at the method. So before we start, you want to make sure you put your oven on to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and you want to let it warm up for about 10 minutes before you start making the muffins. Now we're going to go ahead and start adding our ingredients. So that's 180 grams of sugar and I'm using 100 grams of plant-based butter as this is actually a dairy-free recipe. Then I'm going to use my hand mixer to cream that together, but we're not going to do it for too long because I like to not over mix my muffins. I find they stay nice and light if I don't mix everything for too long. And that's about the consistency that we want. You can see that it's not overly smooth, but smooth enough that we don't have any lumps remaining from the butter in there. Next we're going to add our liquid, and this is 130 ml of plant-based almond milk, the rind of 1 lemon, and then I'm going to add 2 eggs to it. Now if you did want to change this into vegan, you could just substitute this out with either flax eggs or you could use applesauce instead. You'd want about 100 grams of applesauce for 2 eggs. Next we're going to mix those, and again we're not going to overbeat it. Your mixture will look very liquidy at this stage because we haven't actually added anything in the way of dry ingredients. Don't worry if it looks as if it's split, it will come back together as soon as we add our flour. Now here's my handy little tip. Anytime you're adding fruit to cupcakes or cakes, always coat them in flour first and take that flour from the amount that you've weighed out for your recipe. This will actually stop them sinking to the bottom, which is brilliant. Now we're going to add our baking powder and our salt to our flour, and that's 240 grams of cake and pastry flour, 8 grams of baking powder and 2 grams of salt, and we're going to add it in halves. So we're just going to add half of that to our mix and give it a good stir up with our mixer, and then we're going to go ahead with the rest of the dry ingredients. And again, you're not going to over mix this, you just want to do it until everything's combined. And make sure you get into the bottom of the bowl so there's no bits of flour left in there. And once that's done, you can see it looks nice and creamy, it's not too runny. Next we're going to add in our blueberries, and you'll notice that I'm folding these in with a spatula. You want to be very careful because you don't want to burst them. If you do, you just put a little bit more pressure on them, but I want to keep them nice and whole so they actually burst in your mouth when you're eating the muffin. And that's it, that's as simple as it is to make our muffin batter. Now we're going to clean up and we're going to add them into our muffin tray. So I've got some liners in there already, they're just regular muffin liners, and I'm using my ice cream scoop to fill the muffins. I find this is so much easier because I'm going to end up with my muffins being an even size this way, and I just keep scooping even amounts until all 12 are filled, and then if there's any left I'll just go back and see if any need topping up. And I'll pop the link for this scoop in the description below as well, so make sure you go and check that out. This is such a handy scoop to use for anything like muffins and cupcakes. Give your bowl a last scrape down to make sure you haven't missed any of that goodness for your muffin batter. And there we go, that's them nice and full. So they look great, they're almost ready to go in, but we're going to do one last thing. I always like to add a little bit of turbinado sugar on top of my muffins just to give them that little bit of crunch once they're baked. Perfect. Then give them a little tap on the counter and pop them in the oven for 18 to 20 minutes. And now they're done. Here they are, and don't they look great? You can see lots of blueberries on top because they didn't sink. They're slightly golden brown as well, and they've all risen really nice and evenly. These have turned out wonderfully, and I'm just going to hold them up again so you can have another close look at them. These would be perfect for breakfast, or even if you serve them with a little bit of ice cream as well. Okay, so our muffins have cooled. They turned out wonderfully. I wish you guys could smell them. They smell so good when they came straight out of the oven. So now we're going to have a closer look at this one. And as you can see, those blueberries didn't sink at all. So that little trick I showed you of coating them in flour is brilliant because you're going to get that nice mix of berries throughout your cake rather than them sinking to the bottom and causing a huge soggy mess. Let's pull this one apart though and see what it looks like inside. So it's well baked, comes away nice and easily from the cupcake liner as well. And you can see we've got a nice distribution of blueberries all around. Nothing really too much in the bottom, so it's not soggy at all. That's nice and firm. Now let's break it apart. And look at that. Perfect blueberry muffin. I'm gonna have a try of it now and see what it's like. It's really good. So because we've got that lemon in it, it really offsets the sharpness of the blueberries as well. It's nice and moist, nice and fluffy. As you can see, it's quite springy. So it's turned out perfectly. Hope you're gonna try this. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this recipe, and especially if you're gonna use that tip anytime you bake with berries as well. As always, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Bye for now.